you on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Portside, New York. We are thankful for your presence here this evening and for your current and your future support of Portside. Portside is honored to host this stellar presentation about an amazing woman. Fannie Lou Hamer will forever be recognized for her work in the civil rights movement of the 1960s. I was especially excited about this event because the words of Fannie Lou Hamer still ring true today. People of color are still sick and tired of being sick and tired. Given the current climate that we're living through, it's necessary to remind us of the sacrifices that were made so that all of us can be here this afternoon together. Again, Portside thanks you for your presence, and we thank the Santa Fe Opera for making this afternoon possible. We hope that you will enjoy the show and that you leave here today inspired to be a part of the movement for equity for everyone. Thank you.
Tanya, I don't know.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice!
No peace. What? You don't know? What?
Say his name.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Is this really
Briana.
going to make a difference? What you saying? I'm saying, I don't know. Look, get rid of slavery. They answer with Jim Crow. Try to move into a better neighborhood. Redlining. Bust your ass to vote. Gerrymandering. Oh, education. Starving kids can't learn. Then there's the prison pipeline, which strips you of all of it, and now black and brown dying 3 times the rate of whites from a pandemic. Racist healthcare system. 400 years of trying to get this nation to care about us. They just find new ways to kill us. This is how we stop it.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks
Tell
like.
me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. We turn the tables upside down.
Change begins in the streets, but to be effective, it must end
At the ballot box. At the ballot box. But our votes didn't count. Electoral college. White last. You know what ain't count? The 36% of black voters who stayed home. Could it be the election was decided by the people who didn't vote? It feels hopeless. I can see why people would say I know you didn't just fix your mouth. My generation is sick of begging them to see us. We're tired of failed attempts.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
They quoting Fannie Lou Hamer. Who? Fannie Lou Hamer. Before Briana Taylor, before Sandra Bland. You gonna throw in the towel after a couple marches? She gave her whole life to this struggle. Listen, we vote, we don't vote. They still kill us.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
You do know this is a nation of laws, don't you? Unless a thing is protected in the law, it's just a cute idea. Y'all think impatience is something new. 60 years ago, Fannie Lou Hamer felt the same way. Like she didn't matter and things were never gonna change. Especially in Mississippi. She was born a sharecropper. Slavery by a different name. Hell, slavery was still on the books in Mississippi until the year 2013. Mississippi did everything it could to keep black people from the power of the vote. Everything. Fannie Lou Hamer was Black Lives Matter. You need to know her story. How she first got involved in the civil rights movement, 1962. She limping? Polio, or a broken leg that didn't get set right when she was a child. No medical care. Quit school to feed the family. Couldn't have children. They sterilized her without her consent. Mississippi appendectomy.
Hamer.
I am.
I'm from the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
From the what?
From SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. You know, civil rights workers.
I've come to invite you to a meeting tonight at the church to learn how to register to vote.
They taught us that mess in school, and it's turned me off.
But Mrs. Hamer, don't you want Negroes to be treated as first-class citizens?
First-class citizens, civil rights. Miss, the only rights that white folks is gonna give us is the right to die in they field picking cotton.
All I ask, Mrs. Hamer, is that you come to the meeting. Reverend James Bevel will be speaking tonight. He might change your mind.
Chapter 12, verse 54 says,
Recognize the signs of the times. If you see clouds forming in the sky,
you know. Matthew chapter 16, verse 3 says,
and in the morning it will be foul weather today.
Foul weather.
For the sky is red and lowering.
The sky is red.
Oh, ye hypocrites!
Hypocrites! Ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
The signs of the times.
Rain is coming.
That's right, the rain is coming, and when the wind blows from the south,
It's gonna be hot.
that's right, you can interpret the weather by what you see and feel.
What you see and feel.
You know what the weather will be tomorrow by the sky and the air today.
Then hypocrites!
How can you see with your own eyes
The black men and women who have put their lives on the line for your rights and not know a
storm is brewing?
Storm is brewing.
Hypocrites! How can you feel the dissatisfaction in your soul and not know a heart with is stirring? Hypocrites! If you can see and feel these things, how can you not know the change is coming?
Change is coming.
Are you not the storm that will wash away this misery and degradation?
We are the storm.
Are you not the hot wind that will rise up against injustice and vanquish those who oppress you?
We are the wind.
You are the storm.
We are the storm.
You're the hot
We
wind.
are the hot wind.
Who will change Mississippi?
We will change Mississippi.
You are the change.
We are the change.
And how will you change Mississippi?
With our vote.
with your what?
With our vote.
How will you make life better in Mississippi?
With our vote.
With your what?
With our vote.
Who will be a rainmaker? Who will be a rainmaker? Who will go down to the courthouse and make it free? Who will go register to vote? Who will go register? I am the change. Send me. Who will go? Send me. Send
had been leading the plantation workers and organizing the boss's books since she was a child. So it was natural that once she committed herself to civil rights, she was leading and organizing that. She took a busload to Indianola to register to vote. She had a way that made others feel brave.
Mrs. Hamer, are you sure about this? Maybe we ought to pray on it some more.
You can pray until you faint, but unless you get up and try to do something, God is not going to put it in your lap. Now let's go get registered.
Amen, Mrs. Hamer. Let's go get registered.
Word had got out that this busload of Negroes from Roosevelt, Mississippi were trying to reddish. That's how they called it. At the county courthouse in Indianola, they were met by gun-toting white men looking for trouble, and some women. Nothing scarier than a bunch of God-fearing white ladies made them into the courthouse 2 by 2. What y'all want?
We are here to register.
That's so. Well, you know, you have to pass a literacy test first. This here Section 16 of the Constitution of the State of Mississippi. Read it aloud.
Ex post facto laws or laws impairing the obligation of contracts shall not be passed.
Now, what does that mean?
Ma'am, I know as much about ex post facto laws as a horse knows about Christmas Day.
Then you fail the literacy test. Next. I said, get out of my courthouse, you filthy nigger, or I will have the police drag you out. 2 by 2, they all went through the same thing, and 2 by 2, they failed. When they got back on the bus to head back to Roosevelt, they were surrounded by city police and state highway patrolmen.
There's more and more rednecks gathering out there. Oh, they all got guns and dogs. Oh, here comes the sheriff. They gonna put us all in jail. I want to go home to my family.
You, driver, get off the bus.
Oh, Lord, what they gonna do to us?
This little light of mine.
Her voice, it's like a cool drink.
I'm gonna let it shine.
And you can't kill the soul's thirst for freedom.
This little light of mine.
Somehow, Fannie Lou's voice threaded the heavens to rain down the Holy of Holies. Everybody on that bus and the police was washed in it.
Let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, Lord, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
Everywhere I go, Lord, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
Everywhere I go, Lord, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, shine, 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 shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, shine, 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 shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Shine, 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 shine. it shine.
I hear bus at you for driving a vehicle the wrong color. The fine is $100 to be paid now.
But sir, I don't have $100.
Then I'll have to place you under arrest.
If they arrest you, who will drive us back home? You go tell them you'll have to arrest us all.
Have to arrest us all. There ain't room in the jail for all 18 of you. How much you think you got?
Sir, I don't know.
$50. Go to that bus and you better bring me back $30.
Between all of us, we can for sure come up with $30. Here's 3.
I got $1.
I got 50 cents.
Here's another quarter.
I got $5.
What you doing with $5?
Paying the police to keep us out of jail.
$30. That'll do it.
And I'd better not see you on that yellow bus again in Indianola.
They'll see us again, all right. We'll keep coming back until we get what we came for. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me wrong. Turn me wrong, won't let them turn me wrong. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me wrong. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no citation turn me wrong. Turn me wrong, won't let it turn me wrong. Ain't gonna let no citation turn me wrong. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me wrong. Turn me wrong, won't let it turn me wrong. Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me wrong. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no county clerk turn me wrong. Turn me wrong, turn me wrong. Ain't gonna let no county clerk turn me wrong. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me wrong. Turn me wrong, let it turn me wrong. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me wrong. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. We're coming back all right. We don't scare that easy. I ain't scared of no highway patrolman. I ain't scared of no town police. I ain't scared of no county sheriff. Ain't scared of no county clerk. Ain't scared on the literacy test, on the highway patrol, on the town police, on the county clerk, on the county sheriff, on the literacy test. or no highway patrolman. I ain't scared or no town police. I ain't scared or no county sheriff. Ain't scared or no county clerk.
After they paid the fine, they continued on to Roosevelt, where Fannie Lou had worked for 18 years. She was met there by her children, who told her that the plantation owner was angry because she had gone down to try to register. He said, "If you don't go down and withdraw your registration, you will have to leave. Then, if you go down and withdraw, you still might have to go, because we are not ready for that here in Mississippi."
I didn't try to register for you. I tried to register for myself.
She had to leave that same night. A lot of the muscle of the civil rights movement came from the young people like June Johnson.
Nobody at the workshop believed me when I told him I was only 15. When I started helping Negroes register to vote, Mama and Daddy said,
"Girl, you're too young to be doing all this."
They were scared. The Mississippi Delta is the most dangerous place in the world to be a Negro. But when they saw the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, we call it SNCC for short. But when they saw what SNCC was doing, they changed their tune. And Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, that woman inspires us all. Her talking and singing about the struggles for our rights makes me want to stand up and sing too. And she ain't scared of nothing and nobody. Her bravery makes us brave. We've come from Charleston, South Carolina. I've never been so far away from home. And I've never seen Negroes so unafraid and ready. It's gonna happen. Black folks lining up to vote in Greenwood, in Roosevelt, all over Mississippi. And I can't wait until the day I can stand with them. And when I do, and when I vote, things will change. Things gonna change. Things gonna change. No scraps from white folks' tables. No sitting at the back of the bus. No more working for slave wages and poor schools that are just for us.
Mama and Daddy will eat at any restaurant they choose. Hospitals will treat us all like human beings.
White folks cry. I say you better get ready. They're still for a better day. Things gonna change. 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 Things gonna change.
People know I'm stubborn.
June, you'd argue with a stop sign.
I would if it said to stop fighting for my rights. Minds have to be turned, white and colored, to a new way of thinking.
I will stand with those who make it happen.
Fannie Lou kept on feeling around for a soft place in the hard heart of Mississippi. In 1964, she led a group of blacks and whites to challenge the lily white delegation that was always sent to the Democratic National Convention. They had to live on bologna sandwiches they brought from home. But they sang and preached and marched and protested round the clock, day and night, on the Atlantic City Boardwalk, right outside the convention. Finally, the Credentials Committee had to let him speak. And Fannie Lou's testimony? Imagine, this poor black sharecropper made it all the way from the lowest place in the United States into every living room that had a TV. What she said rocked the nation.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Ruleville, Mississippi, Sunflower County. June the 9th, 1963, I had attended a voter registration workshop, was returning back to Mississippi. 10 of us was traveling by the Continental Trailway bus. When we got to Winona, Mississippi, 4 of the people got off to use the washroom. During this time, I was on the bus. But when I looked through the window and saw they had rushed out, one of the ladies said it was a state highway patrolman and the chief of police ordered us out. I stepped off of the bus to see what was happening, and somebody screamed from the car, "Get that one there!" When I went to get in the car, when the man told me I was under arrest, he kicked me. I was carried to the county jail and was placed in the cell. And it wasn't too long before 3 white men came to my cell. One of these men was a state highway patrolman, and he said, "We are going to make you wish you was dead." All of this on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hooks because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Thank you.
They beat her so bad that she never fully recovered from it. But you know how they say, God doesn't call the qualified.
He qualifies the called. That beating was her legit bona fides, her credentials.
The Credentials Committee had no choice but to open their eyes to what was happening in Mississippi.
Who will protect our rights? Then our protests are just
spitting in the wind.
Yeah, change begins in the streets.
But to make a real difference, it must end
at the ballot box. I get it.
At the ballot box.
Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Oh, woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind will be seated at this convention because it is right. Because we are here to claim rights for all Mississippians. And I'm not just talking about desegregation and voting rights. I'm talking about changing people's lives for our children and for our children's children. Because it ain't no harm to keep your mind set on freedom. Oh, ain't no harm to keep your mind set on freedom. Ain't no harm to keep your mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Freedom Democratic Party is the true delegation because it shows the black folks and white folks in our states want change. But I tell you, what's wrong in Mississippi isn't just a problem, it's America's problem. You see, when you tell the truth, you don't have any